Welcome, my friends. This is a movie that could be a true movie, but it's not officially listed as one. However, what happens in this movie could happen in real life, and there were probably very similar scenarios that have happened. Stay tuned. The star of our movie is Colin Hanks, the son of Tom Hanks. He plays a computer nerd type of guy. He's in a camera store asking to buy the latest and greatest in security equipment because he's concerned about safety in his own home. He leaves the store with a bunch of very sophisticated equipment. Now, bear in mind, this is 2006, so can you just imagine how much more advanced it is now in 2022? Our anti-hero, the computer nerd, his name is Doug. He's got his camera on his lapel, which nobody sees, and he's walking around looking at pretty girls sunbathing. As Doug walks around the park, he sees people going about their day, jogging, having fun with their family, while he's looking for a woman to zoom in on. Doug finally spies a really pretty girl who just took a break and stopped jogging, and she has no idea he's looking at her. This movie is pretty much done from the point of view of looking through a camera. Doug breaks into the woman's apartment after following her home. He looks through all her stuff and sees her name is Amy, and he has a bunch of hidden cameras that he puts up all over her apartment. Doug quickly befriends the dog and calms him down. By now, it's pretty clear that Doug is an expert at doing this and has most likely done it before because he puts these cameras up very quickly and gets out before Amy returns home. Doug then proceeds to watch Amy as she wakes up, goes to bed, eats, showers, gets dressed, talks on the phone, watches movies, listens to music, and paints. This sick man then gets a close-up of her having a good time with her hairbrush, if you know what I mean. He has one of the hidden cameras in her alarm clock. Not only does he watch her do it, but he kind of fantasizes that it's him that is with her. And he falls asleep next to her saying, "I love you," and joining him with her, in his fantasies. Doug is very jealous seeing Amy with other guys. Doug finds out that Amy has a date, so he sneaks into her house and puts something in all the drinks that she would drink in a refrigerator so that she'll get sick and have to cancel the date. Doug and Amy finally meet when she notices him holding a CD of this rare music that very few people have heard of, that he knew about because he watched her on the camera. And another time because he's holding a DVD of a movie that he saw her watching, and he just coincidentally happened to have it too. And she started the conversation. Doug gets concert tickets to that rare band that Amy likes. Asks her if she'd like to go. She's like, "No, I can't." After striking up conversations in the coffee shop a couple times, Amy asked Doug to come to her house to, work on her computer. When he comes to the door, the dog's all friendly with him. And she's like, "I'm surprised. He's acting like he knows you. He's not even barking or anything." Doug sneaks into Amy's car and steals the confidential client files that are in there, leading her to lose her job. She's all upset and stuff. Now, he knows that she paints, but she doesn't know that he knows. So she tells him. He goes, "I know people that'll buy those paintings and pay a lot of money." It's him, but she doesn't know that. So he buys them and he gives her a bunch of money, and she's so happy, saying, "You're such a good friend." He keeps coming by to save the day whenever she needs it. Amy's friend Jen comes over when Doug is there, and they're talking. Jen says, "Where are you from?" Doug says, "Oh, I'm from Seattle." So Jen says, "Oh, you must have heard of so and so." He goes, "Yeah, yeah, that's really nice. I always go there." So he goes, "Excuse me a minute," and goes into the restroom. While he's in there, of course, he's listening. And Jen says to Amy, "I wouldn't trust that guy if I were you. I just asked him if he heard of a place, and he said yes, and he always goes there, and there's no such place. I made it up." And Amy says, "Well, I don't really like him as anything but a friend anyway." The next day, Doug calls Amy on the phone and said, "It was nice meeting a friend, but I just want to tell you something. She asked me if I heard of a place, and I didn't really hear of it, but I said that I did just to be friendly with her." Okay, he's saying this to save face. She doesn't know that he knows that they had that conversation, of course. Amy's dog mysteriously goes missing, and Doug is being the hero and helping look for it, but so is Amy's friend Jen. And Jen says to him, "There's something fishy about you," or something like that. "I'm going to find out what it is." So Doug panics, and it's a real slippery, rainy night. So he pushes her down the hill, and she's dead. But nobody knows that because they figure she just accidentally slipped down the hill. The hero of the day, Doug, finds the dog, brings him back to Amy. Actually, he had the dog at his place the whole time, but Amy doesn't know that. Amy is so grateful that she kind of starts to get intimate with Doug, and he can't perform because he's so nervous. After a few minutes, Doug is able to perform, but Amy says, "No, never mind. I don't want to hurt you," because she knows she doesn't care about him the way he does about her. Not romantically, anyway. Doug says, "How can you say that? You're by yourself at night, and the only thing you make love with is that brush." To which she says, "Oh my God, how do you know?" She goes, "Are you spying on me or something?" And she's looking around the place to find where there's hidden cameras. At which point, Doug makes his next move. Unfortunately, Doug jumps on top of Amy and does away with her, complete with plumber's butt hanging out. After which he goes around the whole apartment and pulls out the security cameras and on to his next victim. New city, new woman, same creep.